Hey, what's up? This is HJB representing Triple Threat Sports, and I'm here with my boy Joe. He's about to go on a tirade about the New York Mets fans. You know how you guys are. You guys are always trying to be up in arms about stuff, and Joe's gonna put you guys in your place, alright? So sit back, relax, and hear him talk.
Thank you, Harry, for giving me the shot to speak on a subject I'm very much familiar with, very much on my mind, and very much close to my soul. The frustrated cynicism and, frankly, stupidity of Met fans. I think this could be summed up in an anecdote I heard today on WFAN in the afternoon. A caller called up and made the suggestion that the Mets needed to make a splash coming up in the trade deadline in July next month. And they called the Angels up and inquire about the status of Albert Pujols. And Albert Pujols, if you don't know, last offseason, or the offseason prior to the 2012 season, signed a 10-year, $240 million contract, which means he wouldn't be out of that contract until the year 2022. 2022. We are right now in the 2013 season. So if the Mets actually would acquire Albert Pujols, who's now at the age of 32 or 33 and already in decline, they would owe him money, about $25 million a year, $24 million a year to be exact, until the year 2022. And it's this kind of deal. If the Mets actually called up Jerry Dipoto, who is the general manager of the Angels, and who was actually a Mets pitcher in the late 90s, a relief pitcher, any serious fan might remember that, and offered him some kind of deal for Pujols, he would jump at it like a wolf on a stake. This kind of short-sighted, make a splash deal that has ruined this franchise in the past. In fact, the last time I remember this idea of making a splash becoming relevant was actually prior to the 2005 season. Omar Minaya had just become the general manager of the Mets. And he signed, who else but Pedro Martinez, coming off the 2004 Red Sox World Championship, to a 4-year contract when the Red Sox let him walk. He comes to the Mets. He has one good year in 2005 and 3 years where he basically does nothing because his arm is blown out. That's including the 2006 season. He actually did not contribute that year, that magical year, quote-unquote magical year. He didn't contribute, and it affected their playoff chances, and ultimately they didn't win it because one of the reasons is that he wasn't there. And also there were other quick fixes like that. Jason Bay comes to mind. Bad contract, but not only a bad contract, but an obvious bad contract. Again, a quest for relevancy, a shortcut that didn't work. Anybody who's following Major League Baseball this season and last season, it's obvious that big money contracts to free agents are not the way to go anymore. There may have been a time for that, but that time has passed. The last two off seasons, prior to the last season, the Florida Marlins were considered the champions of the off season. And by the middle of last season, they basically had traded off and sold off, or certainly by the end of that season, they had traded and sold off everyone they signed, who was supposed to lead them to great things. Jose Reyes, Heath Bell, Ozzie Guillen, he's a manager. And last season, also, the Angels signed Albert Pujols, C.J. Wilson, to about almost $500 million in contracts. Didn't get to the playoffs. This year, they signed Albert Pujols. At this point, halfway through the season, they have a losing record. The Dodgers get new ownership, sign Zach Greinke, trade, basically free the Red Sox of the contracts of Adrian Gonzalez and Carl Crawford, and take Josh Beckett too. Losing record. Now the Red Sox, in first place in the American League East. The Cardinals, the team that let Albert Pujols go wisely, turns out obviously. Last year, they come within one game of winning another pennant, and this year they are tied for the best record in baseball. It's not about big money contracts anymore. It's not about short-term quick solutions. It's about player development. The Mets have a front office now. This is their third season. They appear to be drafting well. They've done everything right in the big picture. They traded away old veterans to get younger players. Zach Wheeler, Travis Darno, who's injured now, but he'll be back soon, hopefully. They've drafted high upside prospects coming out of high school in the first round of the draft 3 years in a row. The point is, there's no short solutions. Short solutions give you big problems. Patience and player development. That's what wins in baseball now. Met fans, keep that in mind. And you'll observe another thing. There's a phenomenon among Met fans now of pessimism about the health of Matt Harvey and Zach Wheeler, are two big pitching prospects. Matt Harvey's been a phenom. Zach Wheeler is just getting started, and you see, oh, they're gonna hurt their arms. Oh, it's dangerous. You can't do it. Yes, 15 years ago, Generation K of Jason Isringhausen, Bill Postma, and Paul Wilson were supposed to be the foundation for our next great period. In the mid-90s, they all hurt their arms. That's true. But that's not relevant now. Matt Harvey may be a phenom. He may perhaps be the best pitcher in baseball at the moment. Zach Wheeler has a unbelievable upside. Watching a pitch, you can tell how his ability is phenomenal. But it's not about them only. It's about Noah Syndergaard, Rafael Montero, Michael Fulmer, to name some pitchers. Brandon Nemo. It's about player development and depth in the organization. That's what wins championships. That's what builds dynasties. That's what builds a consistent winner. So yes, there is a chance that Matt Harvey may not pan out. There is a chance that Zach Wheeler, he could possibly hurt himself at some point along. But it's not about them. Player development, patience, good drafts. That's what wins titles. Not short-sighted solutions, not cynicism, not always looking for the next big thing. That time is past in baseball. Dodgers are proving it. The Angels are proving it. Even the Yankees, I think, will begin to prove that fact. There you go. So hold your heads up high, Met fans. Our time is coming. And if it's not coming, it's not because there's a demonic force that's against the Mets. It's not because of some dark cloud that envelop them. Luck is a factor, but it's not the only factor. It'll be because they failed to build a consistent player development program. I think they won't fail. I'm confident. Hold your head high, and we'll move forward together. Enough of the frustration, enough of the anger, enough of the cynicism. Let's go Mets. Thank you.
All right, so you heard from Joe. He let y'all Mets fans know what the deal is. Now this is HJB with Joe, and this is Triple Threat Sports. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, even follow me on Vimeo. I know a lot of you don't know what that is, but look it up, and I'm out.